Okay, so today I'm going to be using some veggies as a treat, and I have got some carrot here which I try and feed only as a treat because it is really high in natural sugar, but it's quite hard and it takes them a while to eat, so I find that they actually sit there and munch it quite well. And I've also got some pepper. It's really high in vitamin C, which of course guinea pigs don't make vitamin C in their bodies, so they do need to be provided it in their diet. So it is a really healthy treat for them. Gizmo. So that's a really good, okay, you can have a piece. Steve chattering at me. So that's a really good treat to have to hand. So today I'm going to be using some small animal nail cutters. I do prefer using these to human nail cutters, but really it's just personal preference and whichever you feel most confident using, and whichever sort of means you can manoeuvre them easier to make sure that you don't cut through. They're quick, which I'll explain a bit more about in a minute. So these are the ones that I use. I think they're by Ancol, maybe. I've got a couple of different ones, and eventually they do get blunt, so you do need to get some new ones, but these are just the ones I'm using at the moment. You can buy them in any sort of pet shop in the small animal section, and I find that they work very well. Gizmo! I've also got a styptic pencil and some antibacterial powder to hand. Now, guinea pigs, inside their nail, have a bloodline running through it, which we call the quick. So you can only really see it in guinea pigs with white nails, but basically sort of half or 3/4 of the way through, running through the nail, depends how long the nail gets really, but they do have a bloodline running through it, and you want to cut off just the end before you get near the quick. So I'll try and show you on little Gizmo's nails in a second, but if you do cut through it, it will cause the guinea pig to be in pain and it will cause the nails to bleed. So you may need something to hand just in case. So obviously you're not planning to cut through the quick, but if you do, you will need to stop it bleeding. So either you can use a styptic pencil, which you just get wet and then put on the nail and it stops it bleeding. Good boy, it's been quite good now. And it stops it bleeding, or you could use some antibacterial powder just to stop any infection or any grime sort of getting into the nail, and then you can just apply pressure. Some people also like to use corn flour. There's many different ways of, you know, stopping the bleeding, but as long as you've got something to hand just in case. Gizmo, get back here. Okay, so what I would do is just put some antibacterial powder on a little cotton pad there and just hold it on. With Gizmo, probably not, because he is so fidgety that there would be no way that I could apply pressure. So I would just use the styptic pencil. But really it depends what works for you and your piggy. Gizmo, get back here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but Gizmo here has little white feet, which makes it so much easier for cutting nails, because it means he has white nails and you can see the pink line running through the nail, which is the quick. In guinea pigs with black feet and black nails, it's much, much harder to see where to cut because they don't have this visible quick running through the nail. Gizmo, Gizmo, stop it. Even if you're cutting their nails and they get really freaked out, then sometimes it's best to just put them back and try again later, because if they're stressed out, it's going to be a horrible experience for them. So every time they see the nail cutters, they're going to get freaked out. And also it doesn't make it a nice experience for you either. And Lily's normally quite good. Good girl. And as a rule, guinea pigs don't like having their feet off the ground, so this sometimes freaks them out. Good girl. Lily has very, very tiny nails compared to Pearl, who has very big nails. So every piggy's nails are probably going to be slightly different. A couple of my pigs also have curly nails. Now if they get too long, they can curl, but it's not that they're really long, it's just that they're naturally curly, which makes it really difficult to cut their nails because they sort of curl under at a weird angle. Good girl, so that's a whole half a piggy done. Now, guinea pigs have 4 nails on the front feet and 3 on the back. Don't you? Oh, there you go. Now, some people may need to have 2 people. When I was very new to cutting guinea pigs' nails, I definitely used my boyfriend for assistance. I still do with the bunnies, so we'll have one person holding and one person cutting. But now, because I cut so many piggies' nails, I'm just used to it, to be honest, and I can just do it by myself. Sometimes I have to hold them in a different angle, but as long as they're not stressed out or uncomfortable when we get them cut, then it's not a problem. Now, with some piggies, especially Gizmo, it's easiest if you try and cut them without them even noticing that you're doing it, which isn't that difficult with Gizmo normally because he's a little bit of a silly pig. If you're not too sure of how much to take off, if they've got black nails, I definitely find it's better to take off a little bit, and you can always go back and take off a little bit more. But with cutting their nails, I would recommend little and often, rather than doing them sort of once a month or once every couple of months and taking off a lot. I'd rather do them every week or 2 and take off a little bit here and there, just to keep them under control. And then also the guinea pigs get more used to it, and it's not so much of a stressful event for them. Now, Jafar's nails are black. Now, this makes it a lot harder to cut because you don't know where the quick is, like I explained earlier, and you don't know how much you're going to be needing to cut off. So some people will use a torch and they'll shine it underneath the nail, and it in theory shows you, I suppose the darker bit shows where the quick is, but I personally haven't found this to work, and it kind of freaks out the pigs if I'm trying to hold them and shine a torch up, and I haven't found it to be very good for me personally. Now, I know this does work for a lot of people, but for me, I haven't found it works. So what I just do is just take off a little bit more frequently. Jafar's nails are also more difficult because they are naturally a bit curlier. So this means that you have to get a bit of an awkward angle to cut them. And it's just a bit of a pain in the butt, isn't it? So if you're really freaked out, then you can always take them down to the vets, and the vets can cut them for you or show you some tricks for cutting them yourself, or a rescue nearby, I'm sure, would want to help you with that as well. So there are more options if you do get really freaked out and stuck, and I would recommend someone helping you if you don't know what you're doing. Guinea pigs can pick up on when you're freaked out. So if you're really tense and you're really freaked out, that's going to make the piggies more likely to be scared as well. So try and relax. Good pig, there we go. And if you do apply a bit of pressure on the nail and they do squeal like it's painful, you might be cutting too far. So if you just move it back a little bit and try applying pressure again, then it should be fine, because they do feel it, because it's, you know, painful for them if you cut off too much. They can feel when you're about to hurt them. So good pig, I know. Now, Ollie is my most fearful guinea pig, and it's a bit difficult with him because he can freak out, and hey, apparently not today, he's decided to attack the scissors, so then I won't be able to cut his nails. Now, his back feet are quite easy. Generally it's easier, full stop, cutting guinea pigs' back feet. I always struggle a bit more with their front feet, don't I? Because their back feet you don't really have to move off the ground very much, but they do seem to freak out more when their front feet are off the ground. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Just one more nail on that. Good boy. So even though I've been cutting my guinea pig's nails for years now, they still have trouble with it. So although piggies can get used to it, and it does generally get easier the older they get and the more comfortable you get with doing it, I don't think they're ever really very easy. At least mine aren't. I've got, yes I do. My guinea pigs are all pain, yes, they're all pains in the butt. In the wild they would scratch their nails down, but in captivity they just don't. So it is something that you need to do if you don't keep their nails short, they can curl underneath and poke in the pads of their feet, and it can become a serious problem. So it is something, yes, that does need to be done. If you can't do it, you can always take them to a vet or a rescue that will do them for you. And I think it's really cheap as a rule. I think it's probably only £5 or something to get their nails cut. So yes, and to prevent them being in pain, it's definitely worth it, isn't it? So thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helped you and your piggies. And it's goodbye from me, bye from Ollie, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. There you go, have some carrot. Oh, yummy. You can hold it, or not. So I've got some just general small animal nail cutters here, which I do use the small animal ones. I know a lot of people use human nail cutters, or, hey, oh my goodness. I think I'm going to have to go and get Lily in a minute because you're being so naughty. So I do actually like using Gizmo. Okay, have a piece of that and sit still. Now, okay, you're being naughty, aren't you? Good boy, always giving me piggy kisses. Right, let's get this one done. Which bit was it? My memory is awful. There it is. That's a really tricky one though.